I want you to close your eyes and imagine the best reason why a student has ever interrupted you while you were working with a small group at your table. Ready, go. I bet you have the most ridiculous reasons your students have interrupted you. I know I do. Did yours involve a goat? Mine did. Today we are talking all about behavior management within Math Workshop. I have tips and tricks for you to keep those interruptions at a minimum and to make sure your students are doing their best work during Math Workshop. If you are ready to make sure your students are working hard and not talking about what their neighbor's goat did yesterday, stick around. Let's get started. First things first, you're going to want to make sure that your procedures are set in stone. Someone once gave me the most amazing advice at the beginning of the school year. It was right before my first year, and they said, sit down and make a list of all of the things your students might have to do during a school day. And then think about how you're going to teach them how to do it. Because if you don't teach them how to do it, they will make up a way, and I guarantee it's not going to be the way you want that specific task done. Now, when we're thinking beginning of the school year, we're focusing on how to get a tissue, how to sit in your chair, what to do when you come in the morning. But let's think about the procedures that you're going to need for a successful math workshop. Some things I always teach my mathematicians to do before ever launching Math Workshop are where to get your supplies, what to do if you have a question, what to do if you finish early, how to ask to go to the bathroom during Math Workshop, and what do I do if my pencil broke? These are the procedures that are so important to me and how my classroom is running during Math Workshop. Your procedures might look different, and that's okay. What's important though is that we are taking the time to teach these procedures to our students and then practice these procedures with our students. My next suggestion for helping with that behavior management during centers in Math Workshop is to recognize groups of students that are doing things really well. Students love that praise, and that praise from their educator is so valuable to them. So use that hot commodity and make it work for you. Maybe you want to award a group of the day. Maybe students can use it to work towards a whole group prize. No matter what that looks like in your classroom, it can be just a quick, easy acknowledgement. I love how group Watermelon today worked quickly and quietly through both of their centers, and I did not have to stop and ask them to change their choice at any time. Let's give a round of applause to Group Watermelon. Praising our students is a really powerful behavioral tool during Math Workshop, so use it in your room. Our next tip is to be a student confidence booster. If something's going to go wrong during Math Workshop in terms of behavior, a lot of times it's actually stemming from a lack of student confidence. If you aren't confident in my math task, of course you're going to try and do anything but the math task. Make sure your students have a really good idea of how to complete the task, and make sure you are hyping them up. I tell my kids all the time, I am your hype man and you are my hype man. So when I do something well, tell me. When you do something well, you know we're going to celebrate you. Boost that student confidence so when they get to a center task, they know exactly what they're expected to do and they truly believe that they can do it. Another important thing to think about that's going to help with that behavior management during centers in Math Workshop is the boredom buster. If students are going to get off task, either they don't think they can do it or they're bored with the task. So make sure you're planning really engaging, captivating center work for them, so students are focused the entire time. Up the ante and make sure students know when a task is graded. This way they're going to be giving me their best work across all of my center tasks. Another great way to bust boredom during centers and keep our students on task and working hard is the use of that technology station. Technology brings that immediate engagement for our students, so use it to make sure students are working hard and are on task. Last but not least, I always have an early finisher task lined up that students know just to roll to and jump right in. This will keep students from interrupting you, telling you they're finished with a task, and it'll help those students stay on task and fight the boredom. Within Math Workshop, your students are likely to be moving through the room and through their centers in groups. And it's important to remember that these groups can change. A lot of times it's going to be one student that I call the temperature student who's impacting a group's behavior during Math Workshop. The temperature students are the ones who roll into a group and immediately change the temperature of the group. That means these students do need to be seriously considered when you're making your group arrangements. Maybe they really don't get along with this student, or maybe they are best friends with this student, so they're not going to do their best work when they are with them. We need to be flexible with our math groups, and the more flexible we can be, the more successful the behavior is going to be coming out of those groups. Don't be afraid to rearrange your math groups to meet behavioral needs in your classroom. Another great way to continue to support the behavior during Math Workshop is to limit the number of transitions. I consider a transition any point in my Math Workshop when I am moving from one space to another, or my students are moving from one space to another. These transitions are great opportunities for things to go awry. So that means we want to limit those transitions and set really clear behavior expectations for those transitions. At the beginning of the year, I turn it into a challenge. Anytime we're transitioning, I click on my stopwatch and we keep track of, oh, it took us this long to get from our whole group lesson into our first center and small group rotation. Students love a competition, so bring the competition to create those quick transitions. I know that Math Workshop can be intimidating and Math Workshop can be a huge undertaking, but we are so excited about all things math, so much so we have a whole series for you. All of these videos are helping you find success in your Math Workshop. I hope you go give them a watch. Also, we have a free professional development. It is all about Math Workshop. I will have the link for the webinar up in the cards and down in the description box. Jamie is going to be working with you for an hour, all about the 3 secrets to running a highly effective Math Workshop in your classroom. And when you watch live, you're going to be getting a PD certificate. The Not So Wimpy team is so excited to help you continue to improve your Math Workshop. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope we've given you some tips and tricks to help with that behavior management during those workshop pieces. Don't forget, we have so many other good math resources out there for you right now. Maybe you want to sign up for the free 1-hour webinar, or maybe you're looking for even more knowledge in the Not So Wimpy Teacher Math Masterclass. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for helping us be a part of your math instruction. As always, give me a shout down in the comments. What do you want more of? What questions do you still have about Math Workshop? And as always, we hope you guys have a not so wimpy day. Bye!